Hello and welcome to Speaking of Sports. I'm your host, Jared Slack. This week I'm going to start with the NBA trade line. It was pretty hectic getting there towards the end on Thursday evening. The Lakers and the Clippers were in a bidding war for Marcus Morris. The Clippers won the deal, and it involved three teams, and they got Morris and Isaiah Thomas, which, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion, I believe that the winner of that deal is going to potentially be the NBA Finals champs, and it's starting to seem that way. The Warriors trade D'Angelo Russell to the Timberwolves for Andrew Wiggins, which is starting to look like, kind of how I said earlier in the year, how Steph Curry was out, Klay Thompson was out. Looking like they have that overall first pick in the 2020 or 2021 NBA draft, and it is 2020. My bad. So they're going to have a great team leading up to next year. Both those two are going to be taking extra long recovery times and rehab times. These next two are kind of question marks for me. Former Warrior Andre Iguodala went to the Heat. The Heat aren't really competing for anything, and on top of that, they extended his contract to 2 years of $30 million. Which I don't know if Andre Iguodala has 2 years left in him. But the East is kind of tricky because there's not a whole lot after the Bucks. You have the Celtics, who are a good team, but they're not going to beat the Bucks. You have the 76ers, who are a good team, but also are not going to beat the Bucks. Giannis and the Bucks just have a tremendous team. And as of right now, Giannis is playing like one of the best players in the NBA. And they're going to be very hard to beat. Another one, the Cavaliers trade for Andre Drummond. So I do not know what they're doing. I thought they were rebuilding, and now they're trading for players. And that's not a person that you'd really be trading for in their position. For other teams, it would have been a great move, but for them, I don't think as much. While we're still on the trade topic, I'm going to head over to Major League Baseball. The Dodgers and Red Sox agreed to a trade for Chris Bryant and prospects for Mookie Betts and David Price. For the Red Sox, it's more of a salary dump. They're trying to get out of that luxury tax threshold and not have to get that penalty for going over not over budget, but over the luxury tax. For the Dodgers, it's going to continue their potential World Series contenders, and hopefully they finally get it this year. It's going to be out of the Dodgers. It's going to be out of the Astros, the Yankees, possibly even the Twins. This is going to be not so much in the National League like it's been these last few years. It's kind of been the Dodgers are no one, especially in the regular season. But it's going to be a lot of competition in the American League, especially between you got the Yankees like you did last year. You got the Astros. They're not going to be as good in my opinion, but also the A's are going to be up there. They're probably not going to be in that wild card spot that they were last year. They're going to be a little bit more up there, and not the Twins, the Rays. The Rays have made some moves. They're on the way up. They're going to be competing this year, and they're going to be in a great move to possibly get to that American League Championship. That's all I have for Major League Baseball, except for the fact that there's only 48 days until opening day. I'm excited. I can't wait this thing to get started up. On to a little NFL. The Super Bowl was this past weekend. I know you've been hearing about it all week long. It's all you've been hearing about on the radio, on TV, everything. Chiefs won. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid got their Super Bowl rings. I'm so excited for them. They had a great year, great run. Patrick Mahomes is the youngest player to ever win MVP and Super Bowl MVP. It's great for him. He's got a great future ahead of him. It's going to be one of those teams that, like, every year, it's kind of like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. They could potentially win the Super Bowl just because you have Patrick Mahomes. It's for the next 10 years, 15 maybe, it's going to be like that. And it just depends on health of their team and health of Patrick Mahomes himself. It's just going to be It's going to be like that every year. They could be a contender every single year. I don't want to talk about the Super Bowl too much because I know you've been talking about it, listening to it all week. I want to get to the Dak contract talks. And it sounds kind of dumb right now. More than likely, it's just the Cowboys and Jerry Jones trying to find a way for the Cowboys to be talked about during the offseason. But this might be a real thing. If you're like me, I like Dak. He's a great leader. He's fun to watch. He's not like Patrick Mahomes, but he has qualities of other players in the league that you really, really want. He's got the leadership. He's got the health, the mobility. He's got a little bit of the arm, not as much accuracy. But in today's league, you're better off with a slightly above average quarterback than you are going to the draft every year looking for a quarterback. Because more times than not, it's a hit or miss, and more times than not, you're going to miss on that quarterback. But for conversation's sake, I've written up a couple things that I'd like to talk about. First off, quarterbacks in Dak's draft class. Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, people like that. Carson Wentz and Jared Goff both got their contract. Carson Wentz's contract is 4 years, $128 million, $66 million guaranteed. That's $32 per year, or $16.5 per year guaranteed. So if he gets hurt every year for the next 4 years, he gets paid $16.5 million guaranteed, which he consistently gets hurt. This is my Dak contract. It sounds a little scary, but in the long run, you save money. Okay, so Carson Wentz was 4 year, $128. My Dak contract is 4 years, $120. You're like, oh, that's not so bad. You're paying him $8 million less. That's completely guaranteed. $120 million completely guaranteed. That's $30 per year, or $30 per year guaranteed. So you save $8 million because you have him guaranteed. And the reasons for this, he's proven health, unlike Carson Wentz. He's proven his wins. Carson Wentz has done that, but if he's hurt, you're not going to win. Proven stats, because he's never hurt. He's got the wins. He's got the stats. He's got everything you need in a quarterback besides accuracy 100% of the time. He had nearly 5,000 yards passing this year. And the Cowboys led the league in dropped passes. Imagine if they didn't lead the league in dropped passes, how much yards Dak Prescott would have this past year. And he's a proven leader. And those are characteristics in a quarterback that you really need. And if you're not fully sold on Dak Prescott, or you've been listening all week about potential trades that you can do for Dak. This is another route that you can go. You've heard of the Cincinnati Bengals. They said, or it's not said, it's just a rumor, Andy Dalton plus a first-round pick for Dak. Or Derek Carr plus a first-round pick for Dak. You've also heard of 2 first-round picks for Dak, or a first and a second for Dak. And this is my favorite. I've gotten excited thinking about this. This is perfect scenario what the Cowboys should do right now. Trade Dak Prescott for 2 first-round picks, or a first and a second. 1 for 2020 and 1 for 2021. If everything falls right, the Saints will want to trade up this year. They want to get Justin Herbert as a quarterback. They need a backup. Teddy Bridgewater is a free agent. You don't know what you're going to do with Taysom Hill. They want to get Justin Herbert, or the Love. I forgot his first name. Love. That's going to be bringing you up to, I think it's pick 20 or 22, which on some mock drafts, the best safety in the league, Grant Delpit with LSU. Ball hawk, absolute ball hawk. He's speed, he can cover. That's what the Cowboys are really interested in this year. That's what they need. They need a free safety, and that would be great. On top of that, you have another first-round pick for this year. What do you want to do with it? Do you want to spend on a good wide receiver? Do you want to get a defensive tackle? My opinion, I think first round, straight defense. You got good defensive tackles available in the first round of this draft. Next year, see, your defense is already better. And on top of this, come in this year, if you trade Dak, you don't go pick up another quarterback like Andy Dalton or Derek Carr or somebody like that. You have Cooper Rush be your quarterback. You go in a one-season tank mode, and you're going to, I don't want to say lose as much games as you can, because as a Cowboy fan, that's really hard to hear. You're doing a one-season tank mode. At this point, 2021, you have 2 first-round picks, 2 high first-round picks, and 2 high second-round picks. Who gets the first overall draft pick that year? Let's just say the Dolphins. Go give the Dolphins all 4 of those picks, get you Trevor Lawrence, and you have the best college quarterback, college NFL-ready quarterback that some people have never seen before. He is my favorite quarterback. This time next year, it's going to be so much more hype than what you have this year for Joe Burrow. He is a great quarterback, a great NFL-ready quarterback. He can do this position. He is. I'm so excited about this. If everything falls correctly, this could happen. Might be why the Cowboys are taking so long with the Dak contract. But if none of this happens, Dak signs a $35 million a year $35 million a year contract. Don't be upset. In 2 years, the salary cap is going to go up tremendously. You are not going to be. You're not going to be. That contract's not going to weigh you down a lot. And if you don't sign Dak, I think you'll be able to sign people like Amari Cooper. You'll be able to sign people like Byron Jones. You'll be able to sign people like that. You won't have to worry. You can get a bus driver for this year, get you a good pick for next year. Don't worry. It's going to be a great year no matter what. Thanks everyone for listening to Speaking of Sports. That's all I have this week. Next week we are 1 week closer to Major League Baseball season starting. I can't wait. We'll talk more about this upcoming season next week. Thanks for listening to Speaking of Sports. I've been your host, Jared Slack.